This is the Nike Mercurial Dream Speed 4, and the boots have been inspired by space. Obviously. Or something. But anyways, today I'm gonna take these bad boys on the pitch so you can see what they look like in action. And of course, I'm also gonna tell you the story behind this rather spectacular spacey design. But before we go and do that, make sure you subscribe to the channel with the notifications on. And then remember that if you want to be among the first people in the world to actually rock these, you can buy them either via the pop-up right up there or the link in the description. Let's do it. It's time for takeoff. That was ridiculous. So the story behind the Dream Speed boots have previously been centered around CR7 and his merry band of upcoming world-class talent and how they have redefined speed and achieved their dreams. Dream, speed, you get the deal. And the Mercurial Dream Speed 4 is actually no different. And just like the second generation, which centered around light speed, we're moving into super fast territory because this is inspired by a spacecraft re-entering the Earth's atmosphere after flying around somewhere in space. And when that happens, Earth's gravity kicks in and starts pulling the spacecraft faster and faster towards the Earth. That means that the spacecraft's speed picks up dramatically as it comes closer to the Earth. And in fact, it can fly, or I guess fall, at speeds up to 175,000 miles per hour, which is 281,635 kilometers per hour. So yeah, that's kind of fast. Now the thing is, and I know it's becoming a little bit of a science class this, but basically when an object falls through the atmosphere, it generates a huge amount of energy because of the added friction that comes as the object moves closer and closer to the Earth because of the increase in oxygen. And you can basically see that when an object, a spacecraft, comes closer to Earth, it generates a heat at up to 1,650 degrees Celsius or 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's very, very hot. And I guess you can kind of see it on the design here, where the hottest part of the boot is the tip, where it's completely white. It's scorching. Then we move further back, it cools off a little bit and becomes more orangey and red. And I guess you can kind of imagine a spacecraft falling towards Earth right here. See the tail of just air burning around it. Maybe you can also look at it this way. You can put these on your feet and then at least imagine that you're running so fast that your feet are kind of burning up from all the resistance. Or something. But hey, cool story, bro, at least. But actually, the whole spacecraft theme kind of continues, and I guess because Nike is an American company and their space agency is NASA, they have let themselves inspire a little bit by the NASA fund, doing the Superfly and MDS logos in a style that resembles the NASA logo quite a lot. We also have the Nike swooshes, which I guess have been inspired by these really thin sheets of multi-layer insulation that we see on a lot of spacecraft that also kind of looks a little bit like tinfoil. Then there's the dynamic fit color, which has, I guess, the same color as a NASA space suit. Maybe it's a coincidence, I have no idea. And then finally, I had to do a little bit of research on these here checkerboard patterns, because initially I had absolutely no idea what they were about. Now the thing is that I don't know if Nike even took inspiration from it, but after doing some research on Google, I found a story about how NASA sent up a rocket in 2017 called Orion, and on that Orion rocket, they painted these patterns on the boosters, so the engines and all that stuff, in order to use it for photogrammetry, which is basically the science of using photography to measure distances between objects. So yeah, this is totally a football boot completely inspired by space, which I guess is a cool thing. If you're out there, you have to take an important free kick, but instead of putting it in the top bins, you send the ball into orbit. So you can just blame the boots now. Space and all, yeah? Now, of course, the Mercurial Dream Speed 4 is the 4th generation of the Dream Speed, which I think is a little bit of a funny take on signature boots, because it's not about giving the boot to just one player, CR7, but instead of giving the boot to all of Nike's biggest, most exciting players. So you can kind of see CR7 as the sensei, I guess, and then with the young prodigies such as Mbappe and Sam Kerr, and I guess also Erling Haaland and Bruno and Ansu Fati and all those other guys who would be able to wear these boots, just like we saw with the Dream Speed 3. However, I don't really know if I can imagine Haaland and Bruno jumping into these, because Nike are only going to release a Superfly 8 of the Dream Speed 4. And as we know, Bruno and Haaland like to wear a Vapor. So that kind of also applies to you. If you want the Dream Speed 4, you have to live with it being a Superfly 8. Is it a big deal? No, because the Vapor 14 and Superfly 8 feel very similar, but you're gonna have to live with the color. It's the name of the game. Looks like a spacesuit, so it's cool, yeah. So my friends, the Superfly 8 Dream Speed 4. Inspired by space and truly a piece of hot property. Because, you know, 1650 degrees Celsius and all. Okay. Anyway, scrap that. But if you're feeling the boots, you can actually go and buy them from unisportstore.com via the link right over there. But Jay, what do you think? Well, I'll be honest, when I saw these for the first time, I was like, yeah, they're cool. It's a nice story and we have a lot of nice little details here. I'll also be honest, I don't think it's as wow, cool as the Mercurial Dream Speed 3, because that was spectacular. But I like that whole 360 gradient design that also runs on the tooling. And on feet, I reckon they look pretty boss. What do you guys say? Let me know what you think of the Mercurial Dream Speed 4 in the comment section right down below, where you can also complain about Nike only making this as a Superfly. It's all down below. Of course, also don't forget to go subscribe to the channel with the notifications on, and if you want to learn how to improve as a footballer, you have to hit up the playlist right down there. With that said, guys, I'll be signing off. Cheerio.